They're not booing, they're hooting as Team Kelly's Jake Hoot wins season 17 of The Voice. He's here in studio to talk about it all, coming up right now on AfterBuzz TV.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hoot! 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 Let's roll! Yeah! What is up, AfterBuzzers? We are here. This is such a special, special moment for us.
Yes.
We got Jake Hoot in the hoot.
Yeah! Can you
Did
smell
not
what
see
the
that
Hoot
coming.
is cooking?
Yeah, that's exactly. It was like The Rock. Can you smell what the Hoot is cooking?
That's right.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for being here with us. Gosh, what a whirlwind you've been through.
Yeah, it's been wild. I'm still trying to process everything right now.
So first thing, besides processing it, tell us, how do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, I'm still in shock. I've been telling everybody I thought anyone else but me would win. So, I'm just like, when they called my name, I'm still kind of like, oh my gosh, is this real? What's going on? So, feel great though.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you collapsed on stage there. You're like, what?
I did. I joked and told somebody. They said, what happens if you win? And I said, I'd probably pass out. And then when they said my name and I lost my breath, I was like, oh God, don't pass out. Don't do it now. So, yeah, it was an incredible moment.
That's amazing. Well, of course, most people think, well, you were born in Texas, but we know that you spent a little bit of time in Dominican Republic.
I did.
Can you tell us a little bit more about growing up in Dominica?
Yeah, so my parents are missionaries, and so I grew up over there I think I lived there about almost 11 years. They lived there 14 before they moved back, but it was just a great way to grow up. I'm the second oldest of 9 kids, so we had, we had our own baseball team, when we were down there. But no, it was a great way to grow up. We didn't go to any kind of language school before, so we learned Spanish just kind of playing with kids out in the street and interacting and stuff, and just a great way to grow up.
That's so cool. So do you think you'd ever put Spanish into your music?
I actually tried as hard as I could to sing La Bamba.
Oh, really?
So, yes.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So the music director guy or whatever, his name is Clyde, great dude. And he would come and talk to us before the shows and be like, okay, what song do you want to sing? Because it's a whole process to get a song approved to sing it.
Wow.
And I said, well, this one's way out there. I said, he goes, well, no, nothing's way out there. Like, go ahead and tell me. I said, well, I'd like to. I said, growing up in the Dominican, this and that. I said, I'd like to sing La Bamba. And he goes, that is way out there. Moving on. I was like, oh, okay, shot down.
They didn't even entertain the idea?
No, not at all. They were just like,
oh
nope.
My gosh.
But that would have shocked all of us in the
That
most
would.
positive way
Yeah,
possible,
absolutely.
honestly.
And and his name was actually Ricky, which is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he was super famous back in the day.
Absolutely, yeah. And Ricky Duran and I actually talked about it after the finale, and I told him the story. He goes, man, I would have even come out there and sang with you on that one. I was like, yeah, it would have been a great time, but yeah, they didn't like my idea too much.
But it's not too late. You could still sing a song in Spanish.
That is true.
Or mix it up, a little bit in there.
Absolutely.
You said on the show that you also like opera singing,
I do.
which is so interesting because
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, honestly. Would you mix that into your music
I
in the
think
future?
so. I just found out, I think it was last night maybe. It was last night. So the song that Kelly and I did, a duet, is called Winter Song.
I loved that.
That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness.
It was originally a Sarah McLachlan song, and she redid another version with, at the time they were the Canadian Tenors, but now they're the Tenors.
Wow.
And that's the version that we based it off of, was the one with the Tenors. And we posted and everything else, and they recently, as of last night, sent a message to me and Kelly saying that they wanted us to come and record with them at any time. They were like,
Wow.
set it up.
How cool is that?
So I think that could be where we bring in opera.
Yeah.
Eventually. I don't know if that's been done before, but it'd be cool.
Listen,
I don't know that it has. That would be so cool.
that'll actually be a history maker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can expect a cover of Ave Maria, right?
Oh, Ave Maria. Yeah. I don't know about the-
Oh my God.
Now, personally, I would like to know, of course, we've seen your process on The Voice, but how was life before you even got to The Voice?
How was life before I got to the Voice? Well, I am working at a radio station. I was a sales rep, and so went out and visited local businesses on a daily basis and whatnot. Of course, I'm a dad, so going home and getting Macy from school and then going home and cooking dinner and whatever. But yeah, I had no idea this was about to happen. And even like somebody asked me today, what was your life a year ago like? And at that point, I hadn't even been invited to come audition for The Voice. So I was just, living life and playing shows on the weekend when I could. So definitely a drastic change. And I haven't even been home yet since all this happened. So I have no idea what it looks like after this.
Yeah, How long have you been here? Sorry.
I've been here since October. Well, this round, I've been here since October 31st.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wait,
yeah.
You said this round. Was there another
This
round?
round? Well, I mean, we came out earlier on in the year and pre-taped.
Got
when we did the blinds, and then we did battles and knockouts, and then we went home for a couple months, and then came back out and did live shows.
Yeah, I'd love to take it back to when you were you recruited for the show, correct?
Yes, they had found a video of mine on Instagram and reached out and asked me to come to their auditions in Nashville. So I went out there and somehow made it through.
What happened after the Nashville audition, and then you came out here to LA, and then from there it just started steamrolling for you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you go through different processes and different steps to get to even the blind auditions.
Oh.
And even if you make it to the blind audition part, there's no guarantee that you'll even get an audition on the stage because they've got 48 slots to fill, and depending on how many people and how quick they fill up. So the entire process, I think the audition in Nashville's back in February, so it's been a long year.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You spent half of your year here.
I think I was telling somebody I've been out here collectively about 4 months this year.
Can we ever see you possibly moving to Los Angeles?
I will never say never.
Right.
But I love living in Tennessee. I love my mountains, and I'm living where Cookville's at. There's all these hiking trails and waterfalls and just beautiful areas.
Just like LA.
Absolutely, just like LA. Yeah. But no, I love where I live, and if the opportunity ever arose, I'd have to think about it pretty hard. But I've enjoyed my time out here regardless.
Yeah, I'm an East Coast girl. I'm from South Carolina, so
Go Panthers.
Oh yes, that's right, and go Gamecocks. But
yeah.
They're not that good.
Well, I'm a Nashville girl, so I can say that it has its own charm and beauty, and very different than LA. So
absolutely, yeah.
Yes. What went into your decision to actually auditioning for The Voice? Because that must have been a big decision, right? You have to come and spend half your year here.
Yeah, honestly, when I had finally decided to go do the first audition, I had no idea what it would look like after. I didn't know. I had watched, parts of the show, but had never watched an entire season. So I didn't know what the process was. I didn't know what, the different steps were. But, when I first got it, I thought it was fake, was the first thing when I got an email saying, hey, we watched your video on Instagram and would love for you to come, to Nashville and audition. I'm like, okay, yeah.
You didn't even think it was real.
Yeah, so
scam.
Yeah, so I even emailed them that and I said, how am I sure this isn't fake? And they sent me some different stuff, but it was a process, like talking to, we're supposed to keep it under wraps, but I had asked, advice of multiple friends of mine and family, and was just like, what do y'all think? And ultimately, I just came to the decision, what is there to lose?
Right.
Just go out and try it and see what happens, and, never expected to be, make the blinds, much less get a chair turn and then, win the thing. So I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah, let's go to that chair turn because
yes.
Come on, a one chair turn has won The Voice, and that has never happened in the history of The Voice.
History.
Right, you did.
Yeah. Yes.
It's crazy.
Well, Blake wanted to turn, but he thought he was blocked by Kelly.
Let's go back to that,
Right?
though. Do you think Blake was lying? Or do you really think he was blocked?
I don't think he was lying. I think, that whole thing was legit because I was there and the argument went on a lot longer than what they showed on TV.
Really?
Wow, really?
Like, they kept going back and
They
forth.
were
Back and forth.
fighting.
Yeah, and at the time I was like, what's going on? Block? What's going on?
Yeah.
But
They were all blocking each other at one point.
exactly. And after watching it, Blake had blocked Kelly before, and John had blocked Kelly before. So
right.
Kelly was just, she was waiting to.
She's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely glad Kelly turned around. People have asked me whether or not I was kind of salty towards Blake, but absolutely not. I've talked to him a couple times. He's a great dude, and I was happy to get one chair.
I know. See.
Had it been Kelly and Blake, I know that's a hard question to ask now. But had it been Kelly and Blake, who do you think you would have turned
Honestly,
for?
I probably would have gone with Blake if I'm being 100%, because I went in there hoping Blake would turn, because I'm a huge Blake Shelton fan.
Absolutely.
I love his music. I sing his songs at all my shows. So honestly, it probably would have been Blake. So it was great that it was just Kelly, because it ended up working out perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really want to know, how much time did you actually spend with Kelly? Did it increase over time? How did that work?
Yeah, it definitely increased over time. especially during battles and knockouts, I think we only saw her like once or twice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just because there's 12 people per team, and you've got so much stuff that goes into getting ready for those.
Right.
And then as time progressed, I saw her more and more. But even with that, I mean, she's busy doing her show. She's still busy doing the music thing, you know. So, and being a parent. So, I saw her more and more, especially there towards the end. You know, I got multiple times to sit down with her and talk and kind of figure out what we were doing as far as our arrangements and whatnot. But yeah, she's just a great person.
I know you had said, I thought this was really beautiful when you said Kelly really did help you a lot, especially she's a working mother, juggling so many jobs, and you contemplated whether you could even have a career in music because you didn't even know if you could give that time that you really wanted to your family. And so what else besides that have you learned from Kelly, do you think?
Her drive is one thing that's incredible, because I mean, she is a working mom, and you know, her advice to me was just be present, and wherever I'm at, you know, whether I'm working, whether I'm with family, no matter what, just be present, be in the moment. And I don't know how she does it, because I mean, I think she's going on tour soon.
Oh, wow.
So between The Voice, Kelly Clarkson show, tour, I told somebody the other day, she went and christened a ship in the middle of
What?
it. Like,
What?
she came and visited us, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to christen a ship tonight." I'm like, "What the heck? Like, who does that?"
I
You
know. Like, is she have like her own private jet? or
Yeah,
something?
I don't know, but she's just all over the place, and somehow she
that's
still makes
amazing.
time for her family and kids, and
Wow.
she
And
just her
of
drive.
course, you know, contestant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her other kids, I
her
loved
other
that
kids.
little bit
Oh
on
my
the
God,
show
that
when
was
they had
so
all, they were
funny.
like, Kelly, I'm fine. He's like, say it over and over.
Yeah.
That was so funny. He's like, I'm 31 years old.
Yeah, she is
Oh,
like
Mama
that.
bear.
You know, yeah, I told somebody, you know, a couple days ago, I really saw her mama bear side. Like there were times that she wasn't happy with something, or you know, she was worried about something not working out for me, and she like stepped in and was like, no, he's going to be taken care of this way, this and that. Like she really does like care about not just me. Like she's given open invitations to people from all the other teams to come to her shows and you know, be a part of it. So she's just a great person.
So, is there anything that you can share with us that happened on the show behind the scenes that was memorable to you?
Oh, golly. Well, I was saying earlier, now all of a sudden, all the everybody's posting a bunch of videos behind the scenes of me that I didn't realize they were taking, because I always act like an idiot. But, you know, there's just so many things, like you become family with everybody. And not just the contestants, like, you know, the contestant department, the camera guys, the sound guys, everybody, like you just become a big family. And I was always cutting up, like, and always giving, you know, making people work harder than they should have. You know, there was one story where I guess he's not the stage manager. He may be like the assistant or something, but he was in charge of like coming and getting me to take me on stage to rehearse. And one time he wasn't watching, and I accidentally started walking up towards the stage, and he freaked out. He's like, "No, you can't go on stage while they're moving pieces around, you know." So I realized how much that bothered him. So the next time, I waited till he turned around and acted like I was going to walk on stage. And I started walking slow and looked back at him. He goes, "Jake, no!" And like, you know, almost had a heart attack. And just stuff like that. You know, just messing with people. But everybody was a good sport. And I mean, you know, I'm looking forward to staying in touch with everybody and hopefully coming back out and visiting soon. So.
Do you think you will stay in touch with the contestants and the crew?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're already planning all these different shows. I know Alex Guthrie, who was originally on Team Kelly,
Yeah.
Right,
legend.
yeah.
Great dude. He was actually my roommate for most of it until he got eliminated. But he's already started I think they've got a show on the 26th of
in
January
Atlanta.
in Atlanta.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, and so they've got a great lineup. I mean, they've got, you know, Will going out there, Callie, Max. I can't remember who all else they've got going out there, but we're all trying to plan stuff where we can all play shows together and collaborate,
That's
write
so
songs,
cool.
whatnot.
Are you going to be doing that show?
I'm hoping so. I
yeah.
told them, but I mean, when it comes to the contracts and stuff and what all
you gotta
comes
be
with
careful.
winning, I don't know anything yet. Everybody's kind of taking like a vacation, you know, for the holidays, and I guess I'll figure out what's going on beginning of January.
Yeah.
So what can we actually expect from you? Like new music, any collaborations?
Well, I mean, definitely, hopefully, a collaboration with the Tenors at some point. But I tell everybody, you know, like my main focus right now is just going home, spending the holidays with the family, and then I do have an EP that was completely done right before the show started, so I wasn't able to release it.
Oh.
And so that I'm going to bring that to the table when we come back and be like, all right, can we use this, or can we at least take some songs from it? But definitely start writing
That's going to be amazing. Like, you come out with your EP, and it's like, look, you already have a fan base. That is absolutely amazing.
Which is crazy.
Because, like, I mean, I feel like most artists, and of course you know this, like, it takes time to build a fan base. But I feel like you being on The Voice, and it gave you so much exposure, like, you can actually cut through some of those layers and just be able to present your music and just kind of go from here.
Absolutely. Well, and that's one great thing that, The Voice provides is not only a fan base, but also your social media numbers go through the roof. And, like, I think I checked today, and I'm at, like, 52,000 followers on Instagram, and I was at, like, less than 1,000, I think, when I started.
Wow. Oh, my God.
And so now, like, and I used to get so excited, like when I do bath tunes and stuff, and that's how they recognize me, is I would sing in the bathroom, to my daughter while she was taking a bath.
Wow.
So cute.
And, those kind of blew up and whatnot, but I was excited if, like, 100 people just watched it. And now I'm posting things, and, like, there's over 20,000 likes on it. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
how do you handle that, so... not that I'm changing the way I post, because I still act like an idiot when I post things, but it's just been a huge blessing. But like you said, I mean, you jump, so far ahead of so many other people by having the platform and going ahead and building your fan base.
So it's almost like you basically been, like, gone viral, pretty much.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's scary to think that I'm going viral. But, I'm very grateful for it. It's been an incredible thing.
So are there any opportunities that have presented itself to you, just like maybe outside of The Voice, that you would love to kind of take on?
Well, I don't know. I mean, honestly, the last 2 days, last day and a half since the finale, I've been so busy just running all over the place. I haven't really been able to check. I'm sure, there will be some things, but obviously with the contracts and stuff that I'm under, like, I don't know how much I'll be able to do, but, hopefully like a Hooters thing or something like that would be nice, 'cause they got behind it. I mean,
They've been tweeting at you.
Yes.
So funny.
They're ready
something.
for you.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to put you onto a commercial or something.
Yeah,
The new face of Hooters.
I know.
That's scary.
Look, listen, can
just
you
you like
smell
this.
what-
Hooters.
I'm telling you, it started here. Can you smell what the Hoot is cooking?
Oh,
I'm telling you, watch it.
if The Rock comes after
If
me,
The Rock is going to come after
I'm
that.
telling you, like, I'm sending him your way. I'm like, dude, I had nothing to do
I
with
had
that.
nothing to do with it.
What would you say was the most challenging part of being on The Voice? The whole journey?
Being away from my family is probably the hardest thing. Like, I mean, you go through a lot of stress. It's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of, I think one day we were on set for like 16, 17 hours doing different stuff. But despite all that, just being gone, and I just learned what FOMO was a couple months ago.
Yes.
And I have serious FOMO when it comes to my girls back home, because I'm like, man, they're 4, they're learning so much stuff, and I feel like I'm missing out. And they were taking family pictures with my family, and and all these other things, and I miss Thanksgiving, and so I'm just like, God dang, I'm missing out on so much. So that was probably the hardest thing that you have to deal with. But thank God for FaceTime.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
FaceTime is a godsend.
I know, for sure.
So I wanted to ask you, other than the contestants, what will you miss most about the show?
Well, honestly, I mean, probably everybody behind the scenes.
Well, other than the people.
Other than the people.
Other than
Okay,
the
other
people.
than people.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because, I mean, I became, like, good friends with everybody.
Right.
Shoo. Honestly, getting to prepare a song, getting to put my own spin on it, and getting to work with the voice band is probably
Oh,
one
okay,
of the big
cool.
things. The voice band, they are,
Amazing.
to say incredible is an understatement. I mean, they're all just, they literally play a 90s country song and then come back and play hip hop, and then, I mean, it's just all back to back.
And they're on it all the time.
All
Yeah.
the time. They don't make
Talented.
mistakes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, getting to work with them every week was really special. That, you just go in there and they're like, all right, what do you want to do? And you say, okay, I want to do this. And they're like, okay, we're on it, and change it. And then be like, oh, no, I want to do this. And they change it on the fly like that. And so working with them was definitely a highlight.
That's so cool, because now you kind of have to start collecting other people to create your own band, right? Do you already have an idea as to who you're going to recruit for that?
I played some shows with some guys back home that could, definitely be a part of it.
Okay.
And a lot of that, I guess, depends on what comes with, either label signing or whatever else like that. I don't know what all that looks like, but I've got a couple guys back home that I've played shows with that I think the world of, and I love playing with them. They know how I play already. We've been playing together for years, and so maybe looking at using some of those guys.
It's a tour, huh?
Maybe, yeah. I think I start off with just writing some more and getting some more singles under my belt before.
Right.
But definitely, hopefully, open up for some people in the near future.
Yeah. I want to get into also, because you sang, you are a beautiful songwriter. I loved your song,
Thank you.
Better Off Without You.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that
That
was
you,
so
you
good.
co-wrote. That was such a great song. And I loved how Kelly said, it is such a relatable song. I mean, you wrote that, I'm sure, during a very hard time for you.
Yeah.
So go back to that. When did you write that? How was that for you? And how was that the one you picked to sing on The Voice?
Yeah, so that was the first co-write I ever did, and I wrote it with a guy named Dave Pahanish,
Nice.
incredible songwriter out of Nashville. And I had just gone through a divorce, and he had gone through a divorce years prior, is happily married now with a couple girls. And so I had gone to write with him with all these different song ideas, and he just wasn't feeling any of them. He's very, eccentric and just, he knows how to write. I mean, he's just brilliant. And then I said, well, I've got this line that I can't get out of my head, and it's, I can see the thunder and hear the dark. Because in my darkest moment, you can cut through darkness, I mean, it just, you can feel it. And he goes, oh, I like that. And at the time when we were talking, I was just like nonchalantly, unconsciously playing this riff on my guitar. And he goes, keep that and keep the line. Okay, let's do something. And then we just wrote the song in less than 2 hours with the rhythm and used the line in the first verse.
That was a true
That's
songwriter.
crazy.
Yeah, and it just kind of flowed out, and sometimes when you write, songs just flow out of you like that, and sometimes it takes like multiple days, and you're coming back and writing, and so it was never any kind of smear campaign. It was never to bash anybody. It was just literally feelings that we were having that we just wanted to get out.
Right.
But yeah, and the reason that I used it on the show was because I had already released the song prior,
Okay.
and it really wasn't doing much, and so I pulled it back down. And the people who had heard it loved it. And so I was just like, well, so I submitted a couple songs, and I wrote another song called Love Out of Time. And I submitted both of those. And Kelly loved both of them, but she thought for the show, that Better Off Without You may be received better. And it's been incredible. I mean, I've had so many people reach out and say that they relate to it, which as a songwriter, that's your dream.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's done way more than I ever thought it would. And so I'm very grateful.
Have you had any fathers reach out to you? I know you love your daughters so much, and you've pretty much done so much for them. Has there been any fathers that actually reached out to you to say, "Hey, you've been an inspiration to me. I see the love that you have for your daughters"?
Yeah, there's been a couple. There's been a couple single moms too that reached out and said, I've gone through a rough divorce, and it's really inspirational that you're doing this. And then there's also the people that are saying, as far as like getting on The Voice, they're like, man, I've always wanted to sing, and I'm a single parent, and you've kind of given me that inspiration to go out and try this stuff now. So, no matter what area, no matter who it is, like even if one person reached out, that's special to me, and so it's been really cool to think that somehow I helped somebody out somewhere. So it's been really special.
Now, is there anything in particular that, looking at The Voice from TV, like we see one thing, but is there anything in particular that you say actually being on The Voice that people out there just don't see?
Oh, I think, honestly, this goes back to, the friendship aspect. It is a singing competition. And, we're all very aware of that, but none of us approached it as a competition. Like even in battles, when we're literally going against each other on stage, everybody approached those as, we're going to create something beautiful on that stage. One of us is going to win and the other one's going to get stolen or saved. That's how we all approached it. And so there was no like, okay, well, I'm singing with you, I'm about to beat you, and like trying to outshine. And then even as the competition went on, we would sit in the artist tent while somebody was performing, and then they would come in and we'd all give them, applause and standing ovations, because we were all just so encouraging of everybody and, supportive. So it wasn't ever a competition like feeling, even though it is a competition, but just the camaraderie and, you just build that, your family essentially. So that's probably one thing that you don't get to see a whole lot of.
Yeah, that exuded out of you, like out of everybody.
Yeah, it did.
When I would watch the show,
family.
I'd be like, everyone loves each other, and you can tell. And it's so beautiful that you can be in a competition like The Voice. You're competing for what, $100,000 that you won, and I mean, there's so much on the line. But yet, at the end of the day, it's still just this great camaraderie between all of you, which was very beautiful to watch. And especially you. You're such a humble.
Oh, thank you.
Just
You are.
awesome
Loving,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, thank
Just
you.
very loving. I do have a question though. Just curious. I sing too, so I can get extremely nervous. I don't know about you. I like
Yes,
my
I think
throat will
everybody
tighten up, and I just can't get any notes out sometimes because I'm so nervous. So was there anything you did pre-rituals or anything just to get the nerves out, or did you ever go, I don't know if I can hit that note, I don't know if I can do this? Did you ever have those type of moments?
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't have a pre-ritual until I did the Desperado cover.
Oh wow,
And
that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks
Wow.
ago. I went out there, and so like we meet with Trelawney, who's the vocal coach, every week, getting ready for our, and we'd go in and not only rehearse our song and make sure we were hitting everything, but also how to change it up, because it's a singing competition. If you sing a song the exact way it was recorded prior, people are going to be like, okay, you're not changing it. And so we had to figure out ways to creatively change it. And so I would focus so much on, like, okay, I've got to hit this note, and then I've got to come down here and then jump all the way back up here, and I've got to do the growl right here, and I've got to do this.
A lot of arrangements.
Yeah, and so when I'd go out on stage, I wasn't fully letting go because I had so many different things I was thinking of.
Yep.
And then we got our in-ear monitors, and I hate in-ear monitors, but we couldn't have floor monitors,
Right.
so I had to get used to them. And then after, I'm trying to remember what song it was. Maybe it was Danny's song or That Ain't My Truck. But I walked off stage during rehearsal and I said, I'm cheating these things out so I can actually hear what's going on and screw whatever like I've been putting in my head. Sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but forget whatever I'm supposed to say.
You're fine.
But and so like, I went out there and I just said, yes, I'm practicing the song. Yes, I'm going to practice hitting certain things. But when I go out there, I'm just going to just let it flow out rather than think of all these different things. And so my ritual, and it's stupid, but I just used to do this with my arms just to like throw out anything that was in, and just try to tune out the world. And when I did Desperado, it was like everything around me stopped. And that was the first performance that I was not nervous at all. I was like, I'm doing what I know to do,
You're here.
Yeah. And so everything past that, I just had a good time. I just went out there thinking, you know what? I practiced the song enough, and it should come natural. And whatever happens out on stage, just rock and roll with it.
Right.
Well, jumping off of that, which was the hardest one that you sang on the show?
Oh, You Lie.
Oh.
By Reba. I had never heard that song before.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was probably one of my worst performances. It was rough, but Kelly had actually picked that one, and she had actually brought it up, and she said no male country artists are trying to cover this song because you're down here, and then you jump way up here and you hit these huge notes. So I said, all right, well, I'll try it, and I got out there and my nerves got the best of me. That was when we didn't have our actual custom-made ear monitors, which that sounds really bougie, but it was bougie. But it was just like a stock, like normal ear monitor, and none of us could hear right.
That's what I was gonna ask you, like, because I've heard sometimes even when other guests have come on there, like you really can't hear.
No, and that's why it's so important, like to get the mix right. And
Yep.
I don't even use floor monitors at my shows at home. So now I'm going into these things that are just isolating sound, and I just couldn't get my levels right.
Yeah, I've worn in-ears before, and it's a whole different beast because you're really only just hearing it's just yourself,
Yeah.
I mean, you have the band and the mix in it, but it's way different than having monitors.
Yeah, and if you don't know what to listen for, because we don't get that many times to, we get rehearsals every week, but we get like 3 rehearsals with our in-ears on stage.
So you basically got to know you have to know what you're doing pretty much.
Absolutely. And so this is the first time you're using it. Like, it's hard to get that mix just right. So that's why I started cheating it out so I could actually hear what was going on.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
First time on national television, in-ears, oh God, that would.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'd be cheating all the time.
It was very nerve-wracking, and that was another thing that I went out just in my head about, like, okay, I can't mess this up, because I've got these in-ears.
Right.
So when it was the Desperado week, I said, all right, I'm just letting loose on this one, and I wasn't nervous. I had a good time.
It showed.
Yeah, it did
showed.
show.
And I love because
Yeah.
Gwen said just from your whole journey, how at the end, I rewatched your finale performances before I came here.
Moments before.
The moments before. But Gwen had said that your journey from how just comfortable you were on stage. And I was watching it, I was like, he looks like a winner.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're just on stage, just owning your moment, and it was great. You seemed so relaxed and so at ease, and just like, I'm here, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and I'm just doing what I love. that came through.
Yeah, and a lot of that's, due to Kelly, coaching me along the way and her telling me, act like you belong out there, rather than going out there and being timid, like just believe that you're supposed to be here and you're here for a reason. And so.
And you did that.
Yeah, which a lot of times people thought, before Desperado, everybody was like, man, you look so calm and confident. I'm like, I'm terrified of it. That's why I'm like looking around at the crowd like, oh.
Maybe you should be an actor.
He's like, I don't know about that one.
Let's keep it to the singing.
No, I feel like we've kind of got to that special session that we talked about before, which is the Hoot session.
The Hoot session.
We actually have some questions from our fans that would like to ask you specifically all about you, Jake.
So I posted on my Instagram. I posted if anybody had any Hoot questions, and then you shared it. And when you did that, I got a lot of responses from
nice.
you. Yeah.
Sweet.
So I was like, ooh, okay, cool. So I just have a couple. So MMC2852 asks, who is your dream singer to duet with?
Nice.
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
I know it's a band and not just a solo
Yeah,
artist.
no worries.
Yeah, that's my all-time favorite band. So yeah, it'd probably be the Eagles.
I mean, you sung with Big Little Town, so.
Yeah, Little Big Town.
Little Big Town.
I won't tell them you said that. No, yeah, they were one of my all-time favorite bands too, and that was a dream come true. Not only getting to sing with them, but getting to meet them. They were the nicest people you ever meet.
Really?
Everybody seems like the nicest person ever.
I know.
I just want to love everybody.
Nice,
well, yeah, like Will.i.am came, because that Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
Did
that performance
so it's
was
Will.i.am,
amazing.
and what's the other? Is it Tavo or something? Anyway, they
Fergie and all them.
Yeah, well, Fergie wasn't there.
Fergie
It was just-
wasn't
it was
there,
just-
the title.
Yeah, and they came outside afterwards, and they were the nicest people too. I was like, everybody's so nice here,
Everybody was super nice.
Well, the thing is imagine you're getting plucked from just your ordinary life. Just I'm in the bathroom singing with my daughter, and then all of a sudden, whoa! I'm meeting all of these famous people, and they're just like, hey, what's up, Jake?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
and then they're like fans of you.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because they're like, when I was rehearsing with Little Big Town, they were like, I said, I was trying to find their harmonies because they've got all the harmony parts figured out,
Right.
And I was trying to figure it out. And at one point, Jimmy was just like, hey, I'll just back off and you go ahead and take the part. Or somebody was like, you just take most of the song and we'll just fill it. I was like, this is your song.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, it was just an incredible
They
thing.
believe in you.
Wow.
Yeah, and they sent a tweet. They tweeted or something like a video afterwards in their plane or whatever, just going, "Hoot! Like, congratulations!"
Oh, that's
So,
amazing.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
I love it. So the Eagles, if you're watching, I'm sure they're watching. So if you're watching, Jake Hoot. All right?
Yep.
It's got to happen.
Speak it.
Put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
Next question is from, I don't know if I'm going to mispronounce this, but called EMC14057 said, what was the first thing your daughter said to you after you won?
Yes, good one.
Both of the girls came up screaming "Daddy," and then they instantly went to picking up confetti and trying to find any place that they could stuff it. Like they were like, because they cut our pockets out on our pants.
Oh.
And so they were trying to put it in my pocket. They're like, "Daddy, we can't put it in your pocket." And I was like, "All right." So I was stuffing my coat pocket full of this confetti. But I think being 4 years old with confetti falling from the sky and lights and music going off, they were caught up in the moment.
So they didn't say, "Father, you won. We're so happy for you."
We are pleased with you.
Father, we are pleased with you. Now all the money and get us all the Christmas presents.
Yes. Yeah, she came up and she was like, "Dad, that prize money."
Yeah.
Do you actually get any say in your clothing or the way that the stage is set up?
As far as how the stage is set up, we get some. They already have that kind of planned out. And as far as the clothing, we do have a say. Like we sent in ideas early on what we wanted to wear. And back home, I just wear flannels and jeans. And so I got to wear that for my blind, but past that, they were like, it's not really fancy enough. So I sent them some ideas, and you send just pictures of different, outfits or whatever.
Okay.
I sent them one with a suit jacket, just one with a sports coat. That was my MO the rest of the time.
That was. You
Like, you liked it, it's fine.
Yeah, but I will say this leather jacket, I've been wearing the crap out of it the last couple of days, but this is what I wore on stage with Little Big Town, and they actually let me wear a flannel and jeans underneath it, and that was I was like, oh, I'm back.
You read your mind.
I'm back.
You're
So
myself
you get
again.
to keep the clothing?
Yes, well, that's one positive to being a big guy, I guess, is like they tailor it to you.
Wow.
And they're like, well, nobody else is going to fit in this thing, so, you know, might as well
Take
just
it
take
home.
it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, you're not that tall.
No.
No.
not at all.
We're the same height, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shiksha's
can't you
like way
tell?
taller than you. I
Yeah.
can actually. I knew it.
Right?
The moment I saw you.
To look up at him.
Our next question was from Hilly_Kate, and she says, "What was your last chance song? You never
Oh, wow.
sang a last chance
True.
song.
I did.
You did. Wait, you
I
did?
sang it for the finale.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So Amazed was actually my last chance song.
Oh.
So yeah, and there was a moment after one of the one of the results nights, and they called my name. You know, I got voted through or whatever, and I walked off, and Kayla came up and gave me a hug, and we talked for a while, and everybody was asking me like, "What were y'all talking about? You know, what'd she say?" And it was actually she said, I think it was like top 10 or something. She goes, she goes, "We need to be thinking about a finale song for you. I heard your version of Amazed is really good, so you need to be considering that." And so when finale week rolled around and I needed a song, they contacted me and they're like, "I think we're going to go with, you know, Amazed if you're good with that." And I was like, "Let's rock and roll," because I'd already been practicing it for weeks.
Yeah.
nice.
Heck, see?
Yeah.
That's some luck
Wow.
right there.
Amazed is my
awesome.
favorite country song
Oh, really?
of all time. That was like the song when I was in high school with my boyfriend. I was like, "This is our song.
You thought you were
This
gonna
is
get
our
married.
song. We're gonna get married.
Yep.
I love you. Stand by your man" was also the other song. Like,
Oh, that's a good
gosh,
one.
yeah. But I that's one of my favorite songs. When you sang that, I was like, ooh. And then you did all the different
Yeah.
stuff, all the liberties you took at
Crazy
the end.
stuff, yeah. No, it's a great song. I love Lone Star, love Richie McDonald. But yeah, that was a song that I had been already practicing for weeks, so I kind of looked at with that one.
Wow.
Well, good. Well, you lucked out. You never had to do it until the finale.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank God.
I mean,
You were already ready to go.
Yeah, well, I felt bad for the people who had to sing their last chance song and then made it through, like Shane, I think Rose had to, and then Hello Sunday did, because they had to turn around and not only learn the song for that week, but then also learn a new last chance song to perform.
Wow.
So they were learning
No.
2 songs while the rest of us were just learning 1 and getting to practice what we had already had. So
Oh, man.
all right. The next one I'm going to ask you is you're just going to have to guess who said this.
Oh.
oh,
I can
God.
actually see who it is. It's
So
like
it said, "Will Comfy and Cozy reunite in the future for some tunes and wings?"
Yeah, Big Shane.
Yeah.
Yes. That was that dude is an incredible guy.
Yeah.
I love Shane to death.
He's really sweet.
He's so sweet, so funny, and I'm so glad towards the end he kind of like actually showed who he was on camera. Mm-hmm. Because there for the longest time, anytime a camera would come on, he's just,
Yeah. Yeah.
He was kinda shy,
you know.
Yeah.
But then he finally decided to let loose, and you know, people fell in love with him because I mean, he's a hilarious guy. He's
is.
so talented. He would do all these runs all the time. You know, I'd be like, "Oh no," you know, I
Yeah.
can't do runs, but just a great guy. And yeah, we were called Comfy and Cozy. And a few people had the pleasure of sitting in between us in like a minivan.
Oh my god.
And I say the pleasure
man.
because you know that was, you know,
Yeah,
an
it was a
interesting
nice
ride.
ride.
Like, yeah, your shoulders disappear behind us, you know. Yeah. But a good thing is they didn't have to wear a seatbelt. They were going nowhere.
Oh,
See?
yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Just 3 more. Nina Christina says, "What are your goals for 2020?"
Hopefully to open for some people on tour, to come out with an album, and I don't know, just hopefully go full time in music at some point, you know. I'd
yeah.
love to.
You for sure will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then going right off of that, Red Loves Orange 13 said, "What's next? A tour? Who decides this? Is it an album?"
I think that's a conversation that I have with, you know, I guess Kelly when we get back, and then and some other people I guess that are involved in like the label process and all that kind of stuff. Because honestly, I have no idea what any of that looks like. I'm just like, because Kelly, when last time I saw her, she said, we'll talk about, you know, more stuff when we get back and everything. We got some ideas. And obviously, when it comes to an album, you don't want to rush an album. So, you know, I said it's a goal for 2020, but at the same time, like, you don't want to rush it, rush the creative. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but a really cool thing is the voice band, Paul, who's the band leader, whatever, came up to me the night, like, right after the results or whatever, and he had told me, he said, "Man, we'd love to work with you in the future if you ever decide to do something." And so,
Oh, nice.
you know,
That's
hopefully
cool.
be able to get those guys to come in and do the instruments and stuff on that.
Listen,
the record.
it sounds like the universe set you up.
Yeah.
It really
Like,
did.
You literally don't have to worry about anything at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, it, you know, against my will, I was stubborn, you know, and it still was just like, nope, we're gonna set you up.
That sounds so awesome. Do you will Kelly be helping you then throughout the next step, the next stage?
I think she will. I mean, she said multiple times she wanted to, and
Okay.
you know, she was very invested from the get-go with me, and so especially now, you know, after winning and stuff, I think she and her husband are definitely going to be helping me out. Hopefully, you know. Please, Kelly.
Yeah.
Come on, Kelly.
God
She
willing,
seems
yes.
like a nice enough person.
Yeah, oh my God,
She
yeah.
seems like such a great person.
Seems cool enough.
She's not. She's terrible. I'm sorry. No, she's
She's
great.
a Texas girl, not from Texas, so listen,
Yeah.
I know we have big hearts.
Yeah, no, she really is. She's the same on camera as is off camera. I mean, she's just a great person.
Absolutely.
And I just have a shout out from one Instagram account, homegrown_design. So homegrown_design. They build custom pieces of furniture.
Oh.
And they sent me a message and said that they want to send you something. So
Oh, dang.
I don't know.
See,
Just
that
shouting
first
it out
opportunity
there.
we were talking about.
Yeah.
remember?
I saw some things that they have, and it was really cool. And something your daughter, maybe could get something for her built. So
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
yeah. So
I'll definitely have to
maybe
get that contact from you.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We'll work something up.
We'll work something
I'll
out.
have my people reach
our
Yeah,
people.
I'll get my people, meaning just myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
yeah.
your people. I have one more question for you. Do you have any advice for your creative fans also looking to pursue a career in music?
As cliche as it sounds, just get out there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
it's, you know, I was nervous for a long time being a dad, wanting to do music full time and leaving a consistent paycheck. And I'm still kind of nervous about that. But I was also very skeptical and nervous to do a singing show. And so, you know, with a good support system behind me that encouraged me and pushed me and basically kicked me in the rear end out the door, you know, just go ahead and do it. Like, why not? What do you have to lose? You know,
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Just have a good time. I mean, if you are absolutely passionate about it, then go out there and do it. I mean, you can't go wrong if you love what you do.
What were you skeptical of about doing a reality show versus just doing music on your own?
I don't know. Like, I felt like there were a lot of stigmas that really, I mean, there's not, I think I created a lot of those stigmas.
Yep.
And, you know, the whole idea of competing against other incredible singers and being on national television and doing interviews and stuff, like, I was just like, nah, that ain't for
seems like
me.
too
Like,
much, yeah.
absolutely. And so, you know, it was just something that I had to just go, okay, no matter what happens, I'm going to go have a good time. And, you know, and then coming out and meeting everybody, I was like, oh man, this is really cool. And so, you know, if I took anything away from it, you know, just the family that you create and getting to meet cool people like
Yeah.
y'all. I mean, it's all just been a cool experience, and definitely glad that I just kind of forced myself to go do it.
I think it's really easy for us to talk ourselves out of situations that seem a lot greater and a lot bigger than what we think we can accomplish.
Absolutely.
A lot of the time. So that's really cool that you were able to kind of break through that barrier, get a little nudge from family and friends and being reached out. So that's really awesome you took that leap.
I would like to know, of course, I mean, you've been on The Voice and you've accomplished so much, you know, just by going through all of the competitions and actually winning. What more do you feel that you actually have to accomplish with overcoming?
I still need to work on my confidence a lot, you know, but as far as like other things that I want to accomplish in life, you know, I've already done way more than I ever thought I could do. The Grand Ole Opry back in Nashville is my dream stage to play on, so hopefully that'll happen.
Oh, they'll be calling.
It's going to happen.
Oh, yes.
But I think as a songwriter, I just want to create things that people can relate to and that help people. And that, I mean, that's basically why you do it. I feel like, you know, if you love music, you want to create something that, you know, other people can feel and sing back to you, you know, and just honestly playing the song and listening to people sing it back at my shows back home. That was already, like, I was on a high. I was like, man, people know the words to one of my songs. That's cool. And so moving forward, you know, I just want to be able to write and perform and just get out there and have a good time, and definitely first and foremost be a dad and be, you know, present back home. But yeah, just challenge myself to get out there, and there's still a lot of things I'm nervous about, like talking on stage.
Really? I mean, I feel like you're doing great
You're
right
doing
now.
such a
This is one
it's so
thing, but like,
natural.
Yeah, more
before we go
conversational.
out, before we go out, they're like, oh yeah, Carson may ask you a question. I'm like, God, what? No, this is not part of this, you know.
No.
And I would
I just
start
want to
sweat-
sing.
I know.
I was more nervous to talk during one of the results shows than to actually be eliminated.
Whoa.
Like I would be out there and I'd be like, oh God, please don't ask me to talk. Please don't. And then whenever I got voted through without having to ask a question, that was the best night. I was like, yes, you know.
So are you interested in taking any like Toastmaster classes now?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have help with public speaking or something.
But like that's actually interesting because you do radio, right?
I sell it. I do a lot of like creative commercials and slogans and jingles and stuff like that. I did interview some before I came back out here, but as far as like doing any kind of shows or something, I don't know if I could do it. But I also feel like that's different, doing a radio show than it is like, talking in front of a crowd or something.
Because clearly, like nobody really sees you, but you're still.
But there's still pressure. Like I feel like the way it works in my brain is singing covers or even singing an original song. I've already got the map for where I'm going.
Right.
I know
So
every
you know it.
I know every turn, everything. When it comes to talking, it's all improv. And
Oh,
so I'm
yeah,
like,
that's true.
That's
I don't know
true.
if I could
Top
do
of
that.
your head.
Absolutely, like
Right.
coming up with questions or comments or whatever else. And so I think that's what gets in my head. And I'm like, I don't know if I could improv in front of a bunch of people. Or...
Well, I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of speaking, so.
Yeah. I'm curious because during this process, it's so awesome and it's so amazing, but you're also being judged on something that you love so deeply and you care about so deeply. And I know you said something about with your confidence and stuff. How is it for somebody when you get people that are naysayers or say, no, I don't think so. No, he shouldn't have won. No, this isn't. Like, what do you say to those people, and does that affect you? And how do you build from that to go, you know what, I'm not going to let this affect me. I'm going to keep on going up to the top.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there were a bunch of naysayers throughout the whole competition, but I just didn't care. I didn't look. But I would say to a lot of those people, if they were to say, well, Ricky or Katie or Rose should have won, or Alex or Shane or whatever, I'd be like, I agree. Because everybody that was a part of that competition should have won. Right. Everybody was incredibly talented. But moving forward, I mean, there's always music in a competition like that is so subjective.
Yeah.
Sure. I could be, the greatest R&B singer, the best vocal, and I could be Steve Perry on there that, is one of the greatest vocalists of all time for Journey, and somebody could like country music and bash Steve Perry, who could outsing just about anybody, or Freddie Mercury. People who like, I don't know, rap could hate Freddie Mercury because he's not, so it's all subjective. And there were so many people so many contestants that got so disheartened by it. But people are just, a lot of people can just be mean. They can just, be ruthless.
Social media, ugh.
Absolutely. And so I would try to go by and just be like, don't listen to them. Like for one hater, you've got 50 people that love you, you know?
True.
And so it's so subjective. But I told myself early on, I was like, I'm not going to read comments. I'm not going to read, these people who just want to go out and, bash and stuff, because at the end of the day, if I met them in person, they would never say that to my face.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah,
People
that's
just
so true.
sit behind a computer sometimes,
Absolutely.
and that's all that they know to do because they have nothing else going for them.
Absolutely. And, and a lot of those people, and one thing to give those haters or naysayers or whatever some credit, a lot of those people don't know the person that they're bashing.
Right.
And I think if they were to meet all of us and get to know who we are as people, like, they wouldn't be saying a lot of those things.
That's true.
That's
Because
so true.
people have off nights. I don't care who you are. You walk out on a live television on a stage in front of all these people, and you've got one chance to impress everybody. You're going to have an off night.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And people
Definitely.
judge you so much on your off night and go, well, you're not good. That's not true. Like, your ears could be off, something else. And so, yeah, I would just say, don't pay attention to it. Let them hate. They're obviously, I'm in a great place in life. And even if I didn't win, I'm still in a great place in life. I'm happy with it. So who cares what anybody else has to say about it?
I love that.
That's so
I love that.
awesome.
And you 100% did so amazing and deserved it so much. That classic country voice, like
Thank you.
Yeah, timeless.
Timeless.
Like literally timeless country voice, so pure.
Thank you so much.
Not to put you on the spot,
Oh, gosh.
But-
This is always going to put me on the spot. Yeah.
but would you mind singing a little bit for us?
Yeah. Para bailar la bamba.
yes.
Para bailar la bamba te necesito una poca de gracia.
Hey.
Una poca de gracia para ti, y arriba, y arriba. Aha.
Yes. That was a perfect way to end this. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much, Jake.
Thank you.
And congratulations on
Appreciate it.
everything
Congratulations.
beautiful and awesome. You're going to have such an amazing career, and we cannot look forward to. We're looking forward.
We cannot look forward
We
to
cannot
it.
look forward. We are looking forward to your journey and your music and to see where all this goes.
Thank you all so much for having me. I
Oh, that
appreciate it.
congratulations. You're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Where can we find you on social media?
Facebook, it's Jake Hoot. And then on Instagram, it's jake.hoot.music. And then I think on Twitter, it's Jake Hoot Music. So, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Good.
And you can find me on social media at Rachel Swindler on Instagram or at Rachel Swin on Twitter.
You can find me at Neema Skye, NeemaSkye, on all social media platforms.
You can find me on all social media platforms at I am Bollygirl.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you so much again to Jake Hoot.
Yes.
Congratulations. We
Thank you.
loved having you in here. The Voice Panel After Show. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.